August 31st is the upcoming game for Georgia Southern. We host Boise State, and I'm pretty excited. 4 o'clock Eastern time at Paulson Stadium. Can't wait to see what this game entails. This is going to be a new era, to be quite honest, in Georgia Southern football. I think this is a time where Coach Clay Helton has the team that he actually wants. This is the third year. He picked the quarterback that absolutely won the job, not someone coming in. And it's going to be a situation where this team is really going to be molded in the way that Coach Clay Helton wanted to be. The first 2 years, some people don't want to give him a pass, but I'll say, not so much. I understand what he was going through, but this year is the make or break year. Hosting Boise State, I am very interested to see how this team plays, but I'm going to give you two guys. If you already know who these two guys are on the screen, you already know where I'm going with this. Two X factors who can shape this game out for a W for Georgia Southern against Boise State. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I do a podcast here pretty much every Sunday night, Monday morning, whenever it's just a good time to put it up. So just be on the lookout for that every week. The last episode did pretty good. Thanks everybody who's been watching and or listening. I cannot thank you guys enough. The podcast is on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Even on YouTube podcasts as well. You can check it out there. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. If you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share this video, and let's go ahead and get straight into this. Dalen Cobb, Tyrell Davis, two of my favorite players, especially Tyrell Davis. I've been on the Tyrell Davis bandwagon ever since he came to Georgia Southern, and he hasn't disappointed even throughout the times when he didn't get enough playing time. But when he got playing time, it showed. Dalen Cobb is another guy who came to Georgia Southern as a quarterback, turned into a receiver, and absolutely, had a phenomenal 2023 based on what was going on. All the things that happened throughout the season with the quarterback situation, knowing that, the quarterback was turning the ball over a good bit, he still showed some good numbers. So these two guys right here, when we go up against Boise State, everybody's going to be talking about the Jalen Whites of the world, J.C. French, Derwin Burgess, LV. You also have a couple guys, Marquise Watson, Trent on the defensive side of the ball. We got a lot of people, that can, absolutely make things happen on the team. But I think these two guys that nobody really talk about that can definitely make a difference. Dalen Cobb last year had 40 receptions for 601 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but when you have an air raid offense and you have to distribute the ball to a lot of people, him getting 601 yards is absolutely good. 15 yards a catch at 50 yards a game. And I think with this secondary that Boise State got, like I said, they can't cover everybody. They're going to have an issue with Derwin Burgess. They're going to have an issue with LV. They're going to have a issue with Fromm. Sam Kinnis is coming back. You got a couple other receivers that are out there that can make things happen. They can't cover everybody. And I think Dalen Cobb's going to be one of those guys that can get open in this secondary and make some plays. The main thing is you keep J.C. French upright and let him distribute the ball properly. You're going to have some success. And I think you're going to have success with a guy who probably won't be covered by their first, second, or even their third best cornerback at Boise State. So this kid could literally make some noise. I haven't even talked about the Jet Thompsons of the world who also can make a difference. I think I talked about Sam Kinnerson as well. So we have a lot of receivers, but I think Dalen Cobb, he's one of those guys that can make a difference, and I think he's going to be one of those guys that can really put up some numbers against Boise State. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. On the defensive side of the ball, like I said, you got the Marquise Watson Trench. You got a couple other guys that are on that side of the ball that can make things happen as well. That front four, what are we run a 3-3? No, we run a 4-2-5. Yeah, the front four that can make things happen up front. You got a couple of guys in the secondary, and one of those guys is Tyrell Davis. Tyrell Davis is a kid that absolutely, showing flashes when need be. In 2023, he played 13 games. He had 65 total tackles. 5 of them was tackle for loss. One touchdown, which came from a pick 6. So 4 passes defended. So 2023 was a really good year for him as well, averaging, basically 13 games. You had 65 tackles, almost 6, a little bit less than 6 tackles a game. 36 of those tackles were solo, so we had at least 3 solo tackles a game. You're talking about a guy who absolutely can get to the ball, make things happen. And like I said, he's one of my favorite players. He's been one of these kids that's always been able to rise to the occasion when need be. I've yet, and I'm not saying to put any bad juju on him or anything, but you rarely see him out of position when it's time to make a play or make plays. Like I said, when you put up these type of numbers for the team, defensively last year, I mean, you're doing something right. 5 tackles for a loss for a safety is absolutely phenomenal. So he knows that he can get up there and make some tackles. He also can intercept the pass if you slip up and throw the ball the wrong way. And as well, he can get around and help with the 29 assisted tackles. So, like I said, you got these 2 kids that nobody is going to really talk about because you got a lot of other guys on this team who can make plays. You got other guys on the team that's more well known. But these 2 kids here, Dalen Cobb and Tyrell Davis, these guys could actually make a difference in this upcoming game. We're already talking about the running back, Genty, for Boise State, but I don't know much about their receivers. So who they're going to pass the ball to? If that quarterback, even though that they say the quarterback is pretty good, he beat out a 5-star recruit for the starting job. Even though that he's there, who's he going to throw it to? Can he get past his secondary? Are we going to make them one-dimensional to make them have to throw the ball? If they do, guys like Tyrell Davis, I think Cam Williams is still on the team, Tracy Hill. You got some guys that are out here. Oh, Mark Stampley as well. So forgive me for not even mentioning him. You got some guys that are on this team that can make things happen. And will he be one of the guys that can, break up a pass or force a fumble, or can he recover a fumble? Will he be able to get an interception? I mean, what type of a team that we're talking about here when we're able to, make some things happen on the defensive side? Also, on the offensive side, what are we going to be able to do with the passing game? Can you get somebody like J.C. French much time so he can distribute the ball to a lot of other players? If you get him to many of the players, some of these guys are probably going to be, locked up. I'm not saying that their DBs are that good, but when you have all of these receivers, you can't cover everybody. Can Dalen Cobb have a 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-yard game? Could he have a 100-yard game? These are the type of things you have to worry about. Now, I haven't talked about Tyler Fromm. He's another guy that's out there, that's on the offensive side of the ball. It's so many, and I'm not even going to talk about the running game. We may talk about that later on in the week. But when you list all of these players who can make a difference, what are we talking about here? Like I said, you got Tyrell Davis on one side, and you got T.J. Smith on another side. T.J. Smith is a phenomenal defensive back that's been playing for us. Got a couple of interceptions last year. But I just think that overall, these 2 guys are going to be the X factors. I can name everybody, but I'll be doing this video all day. But I think there's a lot of guys here that can make a difference. But I really feel like these 2 guys are going to be X factors in the game against Boise State. Nobody could cover. I don't believe anybody could cover Dalen Cobb. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for Tyrell Davis. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for making it this far. I really appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on any of these podcast platforms, or just subscribe over here on YouTube or Rumble, and you'll get the podcast as well and all this other content I have. So I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, and I'm out. Peace.